Students, today in our lesson number 3, magnetism and magnetic effects of electric current. This is the session number 11. In this session we are going to learn very important question: magnetic field due to long straight conductor carrying current and the Lorentz force. Let's move to the lesson for today. Students, we are going to deduce the relation for the magnetic induction at a point due to an infinitely long straight conductor carrying the current. Let me show a picture related to this question. See, let y and y dash be an infinitely long straight conductor and I be the steady current through this conductor. Okay, so consider this y and y dash as a long straight conductor and a current I is passing through this conductor. Here P be the point at a distance which is A. The distance of O to P is A, and D, we are going to take the line, very small line element which is termed as DL, and it is between A and B, because we cannot take this long, infinitely long straight conductor. We take a very small portion for experiment and we are going to find this small line element for this long straight conductor. Students, let us consider a small line element, this DL, and according to the Biot-Savart law which we learned in the last class, it is already dB. That means the magnetic field you inferred here is U naught IDL divided by 4 pi r square into sin theta into n cap or n vector. Here n vector is the unit vector and theta is the angle between the element IDL and line joining DL. See, theta is the angle between the current element IDL and the line joining the DL and line joining DL. R is the distance between line element A to the point P. You can see R is the distance between the line element A, both this and this are R, between A to P. Now let's take the first triangle ABC. Okay, A, B and C. We take this triangle A, B and C. As you know, the adjacent side by hypotenuse rule, sin theta is equal to, that means the angle here is equal to AC divided by AB. Okay, we take the angle here AC divided by AB. So AC is equal to AB sin theta. That means we take this AB into left hand side. We take this AB to the left hand side. AB sin theta is equal to AC. But already we know AB is equal to DL. Is it? AB is equal to DL. AB is equal to DL. Therefore, we can put, instead of AB, we can put the DL here. So AC is equal to DL sin theta. Let d pi be the angle subtended between AP and BP. You can see d pi is the angle. Okay, d pi is the angle subtended between AP and BP. Remember, already we saw an angle here. Okay, it is sin theta, but now we define the angle between AP and BP, which is d pi. Now angle APB, angle AP and B is equal to angle BP and C, which both the angle are equal to DQ. Both angles are equal to DQ. In triangle APC, A, P and C, sin theta is equal to AC divided by AP. Okay, sin theta is equal to AP divided by AC. Now since this angle DQ is very small, so sin d pi is equal to d pi, but we know AP is equal to R, the distance is equal to R, so we put as AP instead of AP, we can take this AP into the left hand side, so AP sin d pi is equal to AC, and instead of this AP we can put R. Therefore AC is equal to R into d pi, because already we cancel the sign here, so we take, instead of sign we take only d pi, so we put d pi here, and instead of AP we put R here. Therefore here the value of AC is equal to R into d pi. AC is equal to DL sin theta, already we defined in this equation. We take this equation here and we put the value of AC instead of this AC here. Therefore DL sin theta is equal to R d pi. DL sin theta is equal to R d pi. We take this R d pi from here. Altogether we put this in the value of AC in the Biot-Savart law equation. That means instead of sine value, we put the value in the Biot-Savart law equation. Therefore we get dB vector is equal to mu naught by 4 pi, which already we have, and I by R square, that is also already we have in the Biot-Savart law equation. We substitute the sin theta only with R d pi into n cap. Okay, so taking this R d pi into the higher order, mu naught 4 pi, we cancel this R and the R square. We cancel this R and R square. So we get mu naught divided by 4 pi into I d pi divided by R into n cap. We don't have R square. Remember, we cancel this R and R square and R here. Now let pi be the angle between BP and OP, which we can see in the diagram. Pi is the angle between BP and OP. This. Then in a triangle OPA, again the adjacent side by hypotenuse rule, we put cos pi is equal to OP divided by BP, OP divided by BP. Already we know the value of O, or the distance between O to P is A, and the distance between B to P is R. So we substitute the values here. Instead of OP we put A, and instead of BP we put R. Now let's take this R to the left hand side, and this cos pi divided by the A, which is R is equal to A by cos pi. We take this cos pi down under the A, so R is equal to A cos pi. Now we can substitute the value of R in the above equation which we saw in the previous. dB vector is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I d phi divided by A cos pi into n cap. Or you can take this cos pi to the upper hand. So dB vector is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi, which is A, into cos pi. Already we have a d pi, cos pi into d pi into n cap. Students, we already you know n is a unit vector. The total magnetic field at P due to the conductor Y and Y dash. The total magnetic field due to the conductor Y and Y dash is, students, you remember I already explained you, because of the current flowing from Y to Y dash, there is an influence in this current, and that influence is field, or it is emerged in the point P. So substituting all the values and taking the derivative, we are taking a derivative here. So if you derive, or if you integrate this dB vector, it becomes B vector. We have to put the integration symbol in the right hand side. So integration from minus pi 1 to pi 2, because we have the values from pi 1 to pi 2 into dB vector, and we know the value of dB vector, that is mu naught I divided by 4 pi A into cos pi into d pi into n cap. Students, I know this is a hard or a long question, so stay connected to the each and every substitutions, then you can learn this question very easily. Mu naught I divided by 4 pi A into sin pi into which is from minus pi 1 to pi 2 into n cap. That means we derivate that value and we find sin pi into from minus pi 1 to pi 2. All these terms are from your mathematics subject. Therefore, B vector is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi A sin pi 1 to sin pi 2. We put this sin pi 1 and this sin pi 2, which is equal to, and for infinitely long conductor, the pi 1 and pi 2 are 90 degree. So if you substitute the value of 90 degree here, that instead of this pi 1 and pi 2, sin pi 1 plus and sin pi 2, that means we substitute this 90 degree here, sin 90 degree plus sin 90 degree. Already you know sin 90 degree, it has a value 1, and sin 90 degree again here also have the value 1. So sin 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1, so we get a 2, and finally we put B vector is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi A into 2 into n cap. Students, we can cancel this 2 by the A. we can cancel this 2 by this 4. This 2 and 4 can be cancelled. So we get B vector is equal to mu naught I divided by 2 pi A into n cap. And that is the final value we received from the magnetic induction at a point due to an infinitely long straight conductor which is carrying a steady current. Now let's see about the Lorentz force. Students, let us imagine that an electric charge Q is kept at rest in a magnetic field. No force acts on it, is it? Now, at the same time, if charge moves in the magnetic field, it experiences a force that you also know, is it? Remember, this force is different from Coulomb force, which we studied in the unit 1. And this force is known as magnetic force, and it is given by the equation F vector is equal to Q, the charge, and the V into B, magnetic field velocity. And in general, if the charge is moving in both electric and magnetic field, the total force experienced by the charge is given by F vector is equal to Q E vector, electric field, V into B, magnetic field. And this force is known as the Lorentz force, which is a very important force. We are going to use this Lorentz force in the next units, so study well. Thank you, students.